The night was thick with tension, the city lights reflecting off the rain-slicked streets like broken promises.
John Kennedy stepped out of his car, briefcase in hand, the weight of his latest legislation pressuring him even more than the humid summer air. He had just come from a late meeting on police reform, one he knew was controversial but necessary. As he adjusted his tie, a shout cut through the night, sharp and aggressive.
"Where do you think you're going, boy?" barked a voice, loaded with menace. Kennedy turned to see Captain Harris, a police officer whose reputation for cruelty and prejudice preceded him. Harris didn't like Kennedy, or any lawmaker who dared to challenge the status quo.
Before Kennedy could respond, Harris grabbed him by the collar and slammed him against his patrol car. The metal groaned under the force, and Kennedy's breath hitched as pain shot through his shoulder. The streets were empty, but Kennedy's mind raced. He could feel the anger and ignorance radiating off Harris, and for a second, fear flared. But then something inside Kennedy snapped, a blend of principle, law, and personal pride. "Captain Harris," Kennedy said calmly, his voice cutting through the tension like a scalpel, "I need you to remember something very important.
By law, I outrank you."
Harris froze, a sneer tugging at his lips.
"Outrank me? You're just a politician. You think a fancy title changes anything?" Kennedy didn't flinch. "I am a United States Senator.
And under federal law, my authority here supersedes yours in matters of civil oversight. Your actions tonight, assaulting me, abusing your power, are not just immoral, they are illegal."
Harris's face twisted with disbelief. Around them, the city seemed to hold its breath.
Kennedy's words were precise, coldly measured, and undeniable. The weight of the law was no longer theoretical, it was standing right there, embodied in Kennedy's calm, unwavering demeanor.
"Do you know what happens to officers who overstep their bounds like this?"
Kennedy continued, his voice rising slightly, a mix of righteous anger and disciplined authority.
"Internal investigations. Federal oversight. Your career, Captain, could be over before your shift ends tonight.
And if you touch me, or any citizen, again, it won't just be reprimands.
It will be consequences that follow you for the rest of your life."
Harris staggered back, not from fear of Kennedy, but from the realization that his arrogance had blinded him to the reality of law and accountability. Kennedy's hand rested lightly on the car beside him, a gesture of control, of calm dominance over the chaos Harris had tried to create. The tension broke when other officers arrived on the scene, summoned by a silent alarm Kennedy had activated earlier.
They looked between Kennedy and Harris, reading the scene instantly. Harris opened his mouth, searching for authority, for some excuse, but none came. Kennedy's calm had exposed the cracks in his armor, and the arriving